I also go by the last name of Bowers, so just in case, I've recently changed the last name. So really excited today to talk to you about the Enterprise Edition, and we actually have a few, not really sneak peeks because it should be turned on for most of you in your Totango instances today, but there are a few other things that we will be looking at. So just a little bit about me. I've been a CSM here with Totango for about 1.5 years. I have 3-month-old twin boys, and definitely love training and coaching and talking about best practices with my customers. So hopefully a few of my customers are on the phone here today. A little bit about our agenda. We'll look at how the Totango Enterprise Edition can help you and your organization. We'll quickly look at the new segments functionality. Some of you might have seen that change. It went from accounts to segments in the left navigation bar. We'll also look at the new health configuration section, both related to the Enterprise Edition, and it's also just available today for all of our Pro Plus and professional users. And then looking at the enhanced features that we have rolled out regarding the Salesforce integration. So why do I need the Enterprise Edition? We heard what our customers were saying about needing to understand what different levels of their customers are doing within their product, and what divisions or what regions are using which products, which are in different health ranks, so good, average, or poor across these different regions, and how does that ultimately roll up to the parent. So if you have more than one product that you sell to your customers, or your customers have multiple regions or different divisions, different business units using your product, you may want to have a more detailed conversation with your CSM after the webinar today. The Enterprise Edition is going to allow you to manage engagement at one or multiple levels. So do I need to log a task or a touch point at the parent level, or the kind of the ultimate parent level, or do I interact and want to log these activities at one of the sub-levels, different products or different children? And with the Enterprise Edition, I'll now be able to define health per product. So you can have multiple health profiles for one product. And then you can also deploy success plays at the parent level based on the usage of those children and those products, kind of the lowest levels. So just a real high level, kind of a few things that it touches on. I'll show you a few quick screenshots before we actually jump into a demo instance. But the Enterprise Edition is going to show you the ultimate parent here. So a lot of this is configured based on your needs. So some of the terminology around calling this parent a corporate account, that's all something that would be set up by your organization. But at a high level here, we can see Red Touch is the parent account, so the highest level of your customer's kind of chain, if you will. We can see still very basic information around the attributes, so who owns the account, what's the salesman, or who was a sales manager, and then we can also see how many accounts fall under that parent, or how many sub-accounts. We can see that there's 8 sub-accounts. We can see the distribution of those 8 accounts and the different health ranks, along with the dollar value that's at risk for those accounts. We can see what the total contract value makeup is, along with the number of active users, forecasting the contract values, and the total time. These, again, are customizable. I won't go into too much fine detail here. All of your CSMs, including myself, are more than happy to have these conversations with you. But at a snapshot, you can see the different sub-accounts, maybe their individual contract value, and the health of each of those children accounts. Still on the right-hand side, I'm able to look at all my open tasks and timeline. The next screenshot is going to be drilling down to the next level. So those child accounts, or those different regions or different business units that roll up to Red Touch as the parent. So when I go into this level, I can see a little bit more detail around Red Touch MO, so maybe the second one here, what products is that location using? We can see that they're using 2 products. I would also be able to see what the contract value of those products are, And then down below, understanding what health rank those individual products are in. So again, at a quick snapshot, I can see that the use of the marketing product is in good health. I can see that the use of the support product, paying a little less money, is in poor health, if you can see it just at the bottom of my screenshot. So being able to understand for Red Touch MO, what products are they using and the health of each one of those products. And then lastly, not that this is the actual last tier that we can support around hierarchy, but in this example, we can see now if I drilled it into the individual products, which all of you are probably familiar with this screen, this is what a non-hierarchy type instance looks like. So basically for this support product, we can still see all the information that you're seeing in your accounts today. So what is their current health rank, what are those key metrics, and any interactions like taps or touch points that you've had with that lowest level. So real quickly, that's kind of the hierarchy at a high level. Again, we'll be logging into a demo instance and I can walk you through it. Another thing that's come out with the rollout of the Enterprise Edition is the ability to query the child accounts, or that lowest level, and say, I want to use that data and then deploy a task via a success play at the parent level. So for any of you that may already have Enterprise or have already started to use the hierarchy structure, when you are creating your success plays, you should now see this little option here, apply the success play at the immediate parent, so the next level up. So if that's where your team is managing the relationships. Another cool thing that we released and are really excited about, I know I personally use segments very often in my day-to-day, so I really like this new UI, really excited about it, and hope you guys are too if you've already started to use it. The new segment functionality replaces the account tab on the left navigation bar. Used to say accounts, and then you would build account or user list. The UI is really, really friendly today. We can see that just from here, I can edit my filters, I can add my email or tag triggers, and I can even start a success play from the segments that I define. So instead of having to go into success plays and redefine the criteria, I've made it a little larger on the screen than it is in the UI, but you can easily click on the Start Success Play. So I'll actually demo this a little bit more when we log into the account. I did mention that there are new health configurations available. The UI should look a little newer or a little refreshed to all of you. If any of you are currently using the Enterprise Edition or are interested in using the Enterprise Edition, you will be able to define health based on product. So you can say, for my marketing product, there is an onboarding health profile, an active profile, and an adoption profile, let's say. Maybe for the support product, it's so simple, we don't have to onboard, everybody's just immediately an established customer. Maybe there's only one health profile for that product. So now you're able to see how are each of your customers using each of the products that they have purchased from your organization, and be able to define certain criteria based on each of those products. So here we can see just a screenshot of being able to actually define the products. You can name them, whatever that product is called. You can upload your own logo. And what's really cool is you can see how many of your accounts are actually utilizing that product. And then lastly, the Salesforce piece, which is going to be very high level again today. The UI should look different to most of you, but we'll now be able to show you 4 different tabs within the Salesforce Totango UI. Both your sync results, which objects are you wanting to bind to? Do you want to create new accounts via Salesforce? Contact settings, you'll now be able to upload or pull in your contacts from Salesforce along with attribute data about that user. So things like phone number, title, email. So that's really, really exciting. Having the ability to have your contacts that maybe aren't Totango users in Totango, and then vice versa. Maybe people that are Totango users but you haven't uploaded into Salesforce yet. A little shout out to our product team. If this is something that's interesting to you guys, definitely reach out to your CSM and ask about the Salesforce integration piece, because we definitely love some feedback there. So without further ado, I'm going to pause my screen real quick and jump into the demo account, and then we can begin to actually look at this information live. Give me 1 second. I guess I closed out of my window. Luciana, do you have a window open? Let's see if I can. All right. Okay. I think we're in. Go to webinar. Let me share my screen again. Sorry, guys. Go to webinar is not letting me share my screen. All right, I think we're good now.
There we go.
All right, so pretty much the same UI on your My Portfolio page, but you can see down below in your notification tab where you're normally seeing any updates on your account around health or touch points or tasks being added. We've added a little column here that will let you know what level of the hierarchy this account is in. So if I click on this account, I'm going to be taken into that level of the hierarchy. I'm actually going to backtrack a little bit here and start at the parent level. So again, here's that tag or the identifier of the different levels that your organization can choose, whatever the terminology is that's relevant for you. All the same functionality as far as tasks and touch points. You can see on the right-hand side, I can also see, this is at the parent level, so I can see how many sub-accounts are showing as associated to the parent, what's the total contract value. I can see the distribution of health. And again, I can choose 3 key metrics that are most important to my organization to monitor. It's going to show me that snapshot in time. What are all of those sub-accounts doing? So if I care most about active users, I can see that there's the average is 2 active users in the last 14 days across all of those sub-accounts. The average score of NPS, this looks like it's totaling it, is 46, and then the time per user. So if you're familiar, you can customize that data by clicking on the little cogwheel over here. If I scroll down, I can see these individual accounts, and I can click on them if I want to and go to that level of the hierarchy. So that's the next kind of child account down from the parent. At this level, I can see that this, I guess, West Virginia, Singles, West Virginia is has all of this same information about the attributes, and then we can see the different products that they are using of this company. So we can see number of products used. If there were other products that I sell for my company, there would be an option over on the right-hand side that would say other opportunities. So allowing you to see what products are and are not being used by that location or by that region. And again, the terminology that I'm using is very high level. Maybe you just sell multiple products, but it's to only one level, it's only to one account. Or maybe you only have one product, but 50 different regions, or maybe all of the states are using your product. So just for the examples today, it may not fit your exact use case, but we can support any level of hierarchy, whether it's multi-product or the parent-child relationship. So again, just at this view, I can see the 3 products that this location is using. I can see the contract value, what's the current health rank, information like renewal date, number of open tasks, and some key engagement data. So prior, each one of these would have been a different account in Totango. Now I can see it all consolidated into one view and allow me to make decisions right away, or go in and look at the tasks that are open, or maybe even do some searching or sorting within here. So definitely a much more user-friendly view, and I know that this location has these 3 products. I can still do all the same functionality around adding tasks and touch points at this specific level if I want to. From here, I can then drill down into one of these products. So if I click on the support product, again, like I said in my screenshot, this should be a very familiar view to all of you. Attribute data across the top, what's the current health score, everything in this view, which is what we call the ultimate child, is the same. So you can still do all of your tasks, touch point, understand usage data and trends of usage. None of that information has changed. Looking at I'll jump into the success play functionality, and I'm just going to create a new success play, and we'll do a test and a paying account. And then we can see that this option here is new. Everything else within the success play is the same, but now we can deploy that task to the success manager at the parent level, and maybe not at the product or the child level. So that's that quick little view there. Segments, like I said, we're super excited about the segment functionality. I'm going to go in and create a new segment. Same option pops up. What is the data that you want to define? I'm just going to click cancel, and by default, it's showing me all of my accounts, showing me the distribution of health of those accounts, number of accounts, contract value. This was there before. But now you can see the UI is really, really user-friendly. Something that's really cool that we've added for some of you that maybe didn't even know this was an option before, I can group these by certain attributes. Maybe it's by the plans they're on, or the product, or maybe it's who the success manager is. I can take that data and say, show me all of my accounts grouped by the success manager, or maybe it's grouped by contract value. Whatever that data may be. Maybe it's by status. Show me it broken down by people that are in onboarding or an established account. I can also easily now go in and add columns. I can add and remove data if I want to, or I can come in here and add things like license utilization, or what specific activities are they doing within my product. Maybe it's the status change date. Really user-friendly here to just kind of point and click. You can still remove the columns that aren't important to what you're trying to learn. And then we can see that the columns have been added here. If I added a lot of columns, I'm easily able to scroll over. All the same functionality around adding triggers, editing the filters. Here's that option to start a success play directly from my new segment that I've defined. And I think that's pretty much it around the segment. And then lastly, the Salesforce piece. This is definitely something that if you guys are looking to kind of revamp or update how you're integrating with Salesforce into Totango, or wanting to bring in those contacts into Totango, definitely reach out to your CSM and schedule some time for us to understand what you would like to do and like to see, and then definitely with somebody from our support team being able to help you guys get this going and maybe talking with your Salesforce admin. So we can see sync results, objects. With the Enterprise Edition, we can bind to multiple objects within Salesforce. I don't know if anybody's mind's blown, but previously we were only able to bind to one object. Now we can bind to multiple objects. So if you are in hierarchy, we can bind to the account and the object, or any other fields within there. The contact setting functionality, do you want to sync contacts, yes or no? What are the attributes that you want to bring in along with that data? and then there's a specific tab for the add-on packages as well. So some of the same data or some of the same configuration that we were able to do previously, but really excited about the attributes at the user level and then binding to multiple objects for the enterprise edition specifically. With that, I think I covered everything. I kind of blew through it probably pretty quick, but if you guys do have any questions, whether I'm the CSM for you or one of your team member or one of my team members, feel free to reach out, schedule time, ask questions. Anything that you guys have questions on, we are always ready and willing to answer.
Thank you, Erin. That was amazing. So we do have some questions coming in, so we'll take as many as we can with the time that we have remaining. So the first question is, would you consider Revenue Center, for example, as a separate product from the standpoint of tracking multiple products? Or are you looking for a completely separate product like bicycles versus shoes?
So if I'm understanding the question correctly, we may want to have a one-off conversation with that, but within the Revenue Center, you can choose which level you want to forecast at. Is it at the parent level or the child level or the product level? It all depends on where you're bringing in the contract value into Totango. So short answer, yes, we do look at it differently, but definitely ping your CSM so we can understand a little further.
Thanks, Erin. So one more question here. Are you able to see products across all of your customers so you can have a macro view of your product utilization?
So you can run a list and say, show me my accounts using this specific product, or the product equals X. So yes, you can run a segment and say, just like show me all of my customers. You could add that as a criteria of show me my customers that are using a certain product or have purchased a certain product.
Thank you. So we do have a few more minutes. If anybody else has questions, please feel free to type them in, and then we'll just pause for a second and take any more questions if they come in.
Yeah, and I would definitely just say, you know, it is kind of a one-size-fits-all, I think. I think depending upon your level of sophistication with your accounts or complexity, again, like I said, whether you have just multiple products you sell to one account or you have the parent-child hierarchy with multiple regions, you know, we can support that. So definitely ask all the questions you can to your CSM. And we're more than happy to understand your hierarchy and your data structure and make sure that we are able to provide you what you need for your business.
Thanks, Erin. So if anybody has any questions, again, feel free to type them in. We'll be available for a couple more minutes. And if you have to jump off, then thank you for coming, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. But we're here for you if anybody else wants to ask any questions. All right, we have another question coming in. So the question is, if a sub-account moves from an average to poor standing, will the success manager and or parent account be alerted by email?
So I think what you would want to do is create a segment with a trigger notifying you of a health change.
Thank you. One more question. Can you have multiple CSMs per account, one per product or multiple per product?
Yes. So if you choose to pass us that value or that attribute at each of those product levels, yes, they own that specific product. So if you have CSMs that are specialized in one product, then they would build their portfolio and manage their interactions by the product accounts that are assigned to them.
Great. Thank you. So we're a couple more minutes still, and if anybody has any last-minute questions, now's your time.
So we are going to sign off here at Totango. We're very excited about the Enterprise Edition and definitely feel that it's just another differentiator of Totango. So as I mentioned a few times now, please do not hesitate to reach out to your CSM or support here. Very excited to speak with all of you about your business needs and see how we can help you. Thank you everyone for your time today.